Hello, my name is Marcia Johnson and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and together with my grandnieces and nephew, Allie, Ashley, and Ryan, we are Marcia's Crafts. Today we're going to make this flamingo card, and I just want to remind you to stick around to the end of the video because we'll be drawing the winner of the prize package that I showed you earlier in the week, or the end of last week. Anyway, this is the card we're going to be making. You will need the Fabulous Flamingo stamp set, Tropical Chic, the Tropical Thinlits, just need the little flower, and you'll need this Ferny die, and the rectangular stitch framelits, just the smallest of these rectangles here. Okay, for ink, we'll need Memento Tuxedo Black, need Flirty Flamingo, Bermuda Bay, Granny Apple Green, and some Crumb Cake. First thing we're going to do is stamp our flamingo, and to do that I'm going to bring out my Stamparatus. I've already set it up because we don't want this to take all day, and I have extra windows, which makes things a lot easier. We're going to be stamping this piece of paper, this one, and that's about it. But I am going to stamp a label, and then I'm just going to cut out the flower from the label, and we're just going to put it on the front of our envelope like a little sticker. Okay, here we go. Let's take a sheet of paper here, and first I'm going to use my Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp the flamingo's body. Remember, when you're using Memento, not only to tap it, but to kind of give it a little wiggle too, because it's a cloth pad, not a foam pad. So sometimes it needs a little extra help. That looks really good. I'll take this one off, and now I'm going to bring in his legs. Again, we're going to tap, tap, and wiggle a little. There we go. That's all we need our Memento for, I think. And we're going to bring in our Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to do this one, which is the whole body, but it's not all filled in. Okay, Flirty Flamingo. Once you've set up your Stamparatus, which is really easy to do because you can lay things right on the image and then pick them up. And once you've done that, for one, you can just keep going and make as many as you want. It's a lot easier than trying to line it up individually every time. And for this one, we're going to use Flirty Flamingo also, but we're going to stamp off. So I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to put a piece of scratch paper in here. I'm going to press that down, and then I'm going to do it on my image. And there is our beautiful flamingo. If that's not quite dark enough for you, you can ink it up one more time. Take our scratch paper, push it down, and then give it a good press. I think that's a little nicer, but that flamingo is perfect. Okay, that's all we need our Stamparatus for. So let's move it out of the way. We do have a little bit more stamping to do. We're going to take the Tickle Pink sentiment, Tickle Pink for You, and we're going to stamp it on this little paper here. And we're going to cut it out later, so leave some room around it. We're going to use the rectangular stitched framelit. And then let's do 2 of these flowers, also in Flirty Flamingo. I'm also going to stamp that label. If you don't want to stamp the label, you could stamp directly on the envelope, but I thought I'd give this a try and see how it works. So I'm stamping the label here. I think that's all of our Flirty Flamingo, so we can get rid of that. Now we're going to be doing a little bit of big shot work, and then we're going to finish up our stamping. For the big shot, we're going to take this rectangle and cut out the sentiment for the front. We're also going to cut out all of these little flowers, and we're going to take a piece of Granny Apple Green and a piece of, well, the other green we're using, what is it? Shaded Spruce, I believe. And we're going to cut out one of these ferny leaves from both of these. Through the miracle of YouTube, we already have all of that done. So here's my little label-y guy. Here's 2 flowers. And here's our ferns and our sentiment. And here's the backing for our sentiment. Okay, now we'll do the front of our card. And I wanted my flamingo to be standing in some water. So we're gonna pull out the Bermuda Bay. And we're going to take the water stamp from the Fabulous Flamingo set and just stamp some water down here. And then I wanted a little bit more blue, so I found the easiest way to do that is to take a block, put some ink on it, and take your Aqua pen, add some water, and just get a nice, kind of a light color. Let me bring in this piece of scratch paper and see, maybe a little bit more water. Yeah, there. And then we're just going to smush this around, making it look like there's a little pool of water here. And that's it. Pretty easy. To clean this off, all you do is rub it back and forth on some paper or some towel or anything until it runs clear. And then even though it's slightly stained, it's good to go. Now we're going to stamp our grass, and we're going to do that in Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. And we're just going to stamp some in the foreground, some in the background. It's probably a good idea not to stick your finger in it like I just did. I'm going to take some of the Granny Apple Green and just fill in some down here too. I think I'd like a little bit more of that Shaded Spruce down the front there. Let's just do one more down here. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then because I thought it looked a little plain, even though my little flamingo, you're gonna fussy cut this flamingo, but again, I've already done that. So my little flamingo is gonna be standing there, but I thought that's an awful lot of white. So to fill that in, I'm gonna take another stamp from the Tropical Chic. It's the one that looks like little seeds, and I'm just going to stamp that all over here in Crumb Cake, but I'm going to stamp off. I want it to be very light. I just wanted something there. So I'm going to take this little Crumb Cake guy, stamp off and stamp. Just any old which way, no rhyme or reason. It just fills in the background a little bit. That looks good enough. Okay, that should finish up our stamping. So now we can assemble. Oh, I did forget one more thing. Sorry. I forgot my Crumb Cake and my little, I don't know, it looks like bamboo to me. There should be oh, I think here's one. Okay, I'm going to take this little bamboo thing and my Crumb Cake ink and just stamp across the bottom here. Very close to the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it at a 1/2 inch, and by a miracle of TV or whatever, YouTube, there it is. And then I'm going to take a 3/4 inch piece of Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to back it. And that is the end of our stamping and cutting. So now it's time to assemble. So let's do the inside first. I'm going to take this little piece. Oh, done both sides of that one. And just put it on the Granny Apple Green. Take that and mount it at the bottom of my inside piece. And whoops, light again. Gonna need the Flirty Flamingo one more time. And the congratulations, unless you want to say something else. Tickle Pink for you. You could say happy birthday or whatever you want, but I'm going to say congratulations because I'm going to use this probably for a graduation card, or I know people that are expecting babies and I think it works for that too. So let's just put that in here like this. And now we are finished with our stamping. You can assemble this with glue, or I'm going to just use fast fuse, not fast fuse. I'm going to use SNAIL because it's faster. So let's just put this in. Okay, then I'm going to take one of my flowers and I'm going to take glue for this and just stick it down. Let's see, do I want that side? I think I usually put things on this side. I'm going to put it on this side for a change. Oh gosh, that was not good. Let me see what I can do to fix that. Okay, I'm going to scoop this up with some paper. And then later I'm going to come with a rubber eraser and take away that adhesive. It'll be fine. But in the meantime, let me try that again. There we go. We'll just put it right there. Perfect. I will come back with an eraser and any remnants I can pull off of there. That'll be just fine. So now we want to take our Flirty Flamingo layer and considering my luck with glue, I think we'll use fast fuse for this too. Then put on our stamp layer. Okay, then our little flamingo, I wanted him to be standing in water, so I'm gonna have to cut off his little feet. I won't make you watch. So he's going to be standing down there. For the sentiment, we're going to back it with the shaded Spruce, and I'll just use the SNAIL for that. I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. No doubt more than you need. That's going to go up here in this corner. This corner over here, I'm going to put the ferns. First, I'm going to put the shaded Spruce one down. I think I'll use glue for that, probably just down the middle. And I'm going to put on the Granny Apple green one, but I'm going to trim it a little bit here. Let it go a little bit over the sentiment. I think it'll look nice. Just let it kind of stick up there. Then I'm going to take another one of our flowers. I'm going to put a dimensional on it and stick it up here, not there, there. And then I'm going to put dimensionals on the body of the flamingo, and like a half of one on his little head, maybe just some of the edge. But I'm going to glue his feet down because those legs are just too skinny to try and stick up. Plus, I want his feet to be in the water, so let's see how this looks. We'll give him a little glue on his bottom of his legs. There we go. And we'll put him like right about here. Okay, and then the last thing we have to do is our envelope. And as I said, you could just stamp directly on the envelope, or you can stamp on a label and then peel the label off and just stick it right there. It also gives it a tiny bit of dimension, which I kind of like. So there we go. There's that card. Here's the previous one. If you'd like to purchase any of these products, you could do so at marciascrafts.stampinup.net. We would love for you to do so. And I guess we should get to the drawing. I put all the names in a basket and then I picked one out, and it is Rebecca Bullock. Rebecca, B-U-L-L-O-C-K. Rebecca, you need to email me your address at marciascrafts@hotmail.com, and I will get the package to you as soon as possible. In case everybody forgot, it's this paper pack, which has A lot of paper in it. Lovely 12 by 12 paper. Well, you get the idea. A couple of stamp sets, the Lots of Lavender, and the Flowering Fields, some Stampin' Up pens, and some Stampin' Up notebooks. So, email me your address, and I will get those out to you as soon as possible. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you next week, probably sometime on Wednesday. Thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.